Coming your way in color, an exciting four-city fiesta of holiday parades on the big Thanksgiving Parade Jubilee. Be watching what can truly be called 8-star coverage, with Arthur Godfrey and Beth Brickell reporting from Toronto, Canada. Brad Allison, Bert Tillstrom and their puppet friends in Detroit. Marilyn Vanderburr and Jack Linkletter in Philadelphia. And in New York, Mike Douglas and Bess Meyerson. Join them all for the blend of balloons, bands, floats, and surprises that make this year's Thanksgiving Parade Jubilee a viewing treat for all the family.
Welcome back to Everything Old is New Again. Douglas Viviani with our very own Turkey Benedict himself, David Cohen.
Turkey Benedict?
How about that? I'll explain that later. I'm going to leave that as a mystery.
We're going to find out later whether that was an insult or a compliment.
Exactly. We're here. We're still celebrating in some ways Thanksgiving 2 weeks later on our third Thanksgiving show. We're going to call this the Thanksgiving Hangover Part 2. How do you like that?
Yeah. So well, you know, with my so-called war on Thanksgiving that's been happening for many years now, the more time we can spend talking about it, I think the better off we're all going to be.
There you go. I like that. I agree with that. And we've had some good fun, good clean fun talking about recipes of old, recipes of new. I've got some recipes, some things to do after Thanksgiving that... But, I mean, it's now, if you still have your turkey in the refrigerator from Thanksgiving right now, you're in trouble. It's been a little late. Yeah. But I will tell you this, what I did one year, and I'm going to do that again this year. There's still some frozen turkeys left over that have not been sold for Thanksgiving. And they have cut the price on those turkeys way down.
Is that right?
Yes. And turkey turkey's great more than just at Thanksgiving. I'm buying 2 turkeys.
Are you really going to make a whole turkey?
Why not?
Not Thanksgiving.
Can I tell you something? We've gone through all these things. You know what the easiest thing in the world to cook?
Turkey.
You put it in the oven. You literally put it in the, honestly, it's the easy. We made such a big stink because back in the day it was trouble. It was difficult. You had to get it fresh. There was no frozen ones back in the 1800s, right? You had to go, whatever. You had to do all kind of stuff. Now, you get a frozen one. You defrost it for 2 days. It's defrosted. You take the stuff out of the inside. You put an onion and whatever you want, some carrots, whatever, in the inside cavity. You butter it up a little bit. Put the butter in between the skin and the meat. You put it in the oven. Cook it slow on a Saturday afternoon for Saturday morning. You cook it for 6 hours, and you're done. There's nothing. You tell me seriously.
I never really thought about it.
All you do is baste it.
It's not a bad idea.
Nothing to it.
When you're cooking for a lot of people on Thanksgiving, maybe you want to downsize the size of the turkey, but
Absolutely. Why not? Right. And then turkey is great left over as well. So you got that one meal, and now you're going to I don't care how big or small your family is, there's going to be turkey left over, however, what's going on.
I like that idea.
Okay.
I really do.
And turkey's good for you, and it's this fresh turkey's better than this turkey, in the deli you're getting sliced turkey and all that.
Oh, absolutely.
100%
all the
better.
Stuff that they add to it, you don't know.
A turkey sandwich made the day, I'll just expand this or just a little touch here. The day after Thanksgiving, or any time, the day, after with a leftover turkey meat, with a little mayo or whatever you want to do on a sandwich, or take do the old gravy. Put some old gravy on there.
Yeah.
Mayo. So do it with little stuffing you have left over. So you put stuffing on there, a little salt and pepper. You got your meat, and you got a little gravy. Put the bread together. It's an amazing lunch. Amazing. Or dinner, whatever. Am I wrong?
I think I might try that.
Yeah, there you go.
So, I think you might be onto something.
There you go. I'm telling you, that's the way to go. That's what I do. So along those lines.
By the way, this episode brought to you by the Turkey Association of America.
Butterball turkey, the best turkey in the world. So let's see. We're going to cobble together a little bit here. I've got a bunch of clips and different things from other shows that we didn't use yet. Along those lines,
this is like a Thanksgiving leftover show.
Exactly. This is a grab bag. We're going into the refrigerator and pulling out the ideas that were not used.
Reading everything that we didn't eat on Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Right here.
So now, you got the leftover turkey. What are you going to do with it? I got a breakfast idea for the turkey. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Seriously. This is great. Turkey and stuffing, eggs, Benedict.
So how does that work?
So you've got your turkey, your stuffing. Put that in a frying pan. Just heat it up a little bit. Microwave if you want to do it that way. Either way, just heat it up a little bit. Toast a piece of bread.
Okay.
Put the piece of bread. Of course, you're going to take now your hot turkey and stuffing.
Mm-hmm.
You put the toasted piece of bread on top. Okay. I would then going to cook your egg.
You never made this, did you? You're reading this thing.
No, I have made it, but I forgot. I did forget something.
Totally making it up.
No. Well, you know what I'm forgetting? The butter. Because everything that involves cooking for Thanksgiving involves butter.
Got it.
So don't forget to put the butter on the bread. Don't forget to cook your egg in butter. Don't forget to heat up your turkey and stuffing in butter.
And don't forget to cook your butter in butter.
Exactly. So but just add a little salt, parsley. I haven't done the nutmeg, but they say nutmeg on the top is not bad either. But cook your egg over easy, or however you want the egg. Put the egg on top of your. If you're going to do Benedict, it's going to be over easy, quite frankly, right?
Yeah, true.
Or so that's you put that over the egg on top of the bread, and you melt or put a little bit of the gravy on top of that.
Okay, that sounds good, actually.
And you've got yourself turkey and stuffing eggs Benedict. I'm telling you. You serve that with a little champagne and a little cranberry juice mixed together instead of a mimosa, champagne and cranberry juice. You get me? Instead of champagne and orange juice, champagne and cranberry juice.
Yeah, I don't usually drink in the mornings, but sure.
Well, you do it on a Sunday, or a Saturday. It's drinking champagne. What's champagne?
What is champagne?
I could drink I could drink 3 bottles of champagne. Or the worst thing it makes me do is go to the bathroom 3 times. I mean, it's not. Does it really affect you? I know some people it affects a lot. It doesn't affect.
No, I'm just wondering how necessary that information was for our listeners. But okay.
Or you want something else for breakfast?
Sure.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
This has nothing to do with the turkey, but you've got some cranberry sauce left over. Remember?
Love cranberry.
Made a lot of cranberry sauce. All you need to do is get some walnuts, cranberry sauce.
Yeah.
Okay. Cook up your oatmeal in the morning.
Cook up your oatmeal.
You love that oatmeal. Cook the oatmeal up. You want to put a little sugar or vanilla extract in your oatmeal for a little flavor. I wouldn't suggest that's a bad idea. That probably would be good. Sugar, maybe not so much, but the vanilla extract or maybe cinnamon sugar, put in there.
Okay.
You mix it all together. Let me just be clear. You're mixing your oats, your vanilla abstract, and your cinnamon sugar together. Now you've got your oatmeal.
Extract, not abstract.
Not your abstract.
We don't have vanilla, but we have something it's like an abstract kind of version of vanilla. Where do you go shopping? So
now you got your oatmeal.
You have the oatmeal. And
now, sprinkle on top the walnuts.
Okay.
And
so far, this is not Thanksgiving. Go ahead. Yep.
And then you got your cranberry sauce.
Oh, cranberry sauce.
Put that on top of the oatmeal.
That would taste really good in oatmeal, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I say you don't need the sugar, really, because you got sweetness from the cranberry.
Right. You're
going to tell me that's not a great item?
That is a great item, because sometimes when I eat oatmeal and I want to sweeten it, sometimes I'll cut up fruit, but sometimes I'll just take, jam or jelly.
Yep.
Just put a dollop in there, so the cranberries is sort of the same concept.
Yep.
Good
one. You like that?
Good.
Got some good ones there. All right, so that's your breakfast. Now, while you're eating breakfast, what are you watching? That's the question. If you want to watch something quick, now this is a weekend, of course, right?
It's a weekend. All right. Yeah, I don't really watch TV during the day and a weekend.
Right. Well, you're hungover now. Remember, the
hungover.
premise is the Thanksgiving hangover, right? So we're relaxing. This is just a relaxing day.
All right.
And we're an entertainment show, so we got to talk about entertainment. We can't talk about going out and shopping or something like that, right? So
you're watching like the Twilight Zone.
Well, that's the question. What do you watch? You know what TV show had some good Thanksgiving episodes? And I'm not a fan of Friends at all. But Friends had some good episodes, as does the Goldbergs. Goldbergs have some good, funny episodes.
Okay.
So I'll leave you with that for this particular section. That's where I'm at. Do you have any suggestions?
Leave us with that.
Yes. Do you have any suggestions of television shows that you would suggest? It's not many that you would watch on a day off like this. Related in some way to Thanksgiving, of course. It's tough to say. We've not really done a lot with Thanksgiving, but friends, people will say, yes, that's it. Movies, we're going to come back and talk about movies. Let me ask you this. We're excluding one movie from our discussion to watch that's a Thanksgiving-themed or at least touches upon Thanksgiving in some way movie, because it is the best and most obvious Thanksgiving movie ever made. It's relatively recent, within the last 25 years.
For you, that's like yesterday.
Exactly. So what movie am I talking about is the best Thanksgiving movie ever made? I give you hints as we go.
There are no Thanksgiving movies coming to mind.
All right. It's not about Thanksgiving. It ends at Thanksgiving.
It ends at Thanksgiving.
And then a big pause.
Not A Christmas Story.
Nope.
No, because that ends at Christmas.
Yep.
A Thanksgiving Story? No, I really don't know.
Well, how about you do know it, you're just not coming to mind. You're
do?
going to kick yourself when I say it.
At the break, I'll think on it. I'll ruminate.
All right, we'll come back, and how about that? We'll come back and answer that question. What is the best Thanksgiving movie ever made? Right here on Everything Old is New Again.
Be watching what can truly be called 8-star coverage.
This is Everything Old is New Again, America's entertainment pop culture talk show with Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
Hi, this is Lee Merriweather. You're listening to Everything Old is New Again with Doug Viviani and David Cohen. They are great guys.
Hi, this is Manny Cotto, a creator, executive producer, and showrunner of the new Fox show Next, premiering October 6th. And this is Everything Old is New Again, Douglas Viviani and David Cohen.
How about that? Listen, Manny Cotto was a find for me. He was a showrunner to 24, and he was a showrunner for the last two seasons of Enterprise, two shows that I thought were terrific. He did a great job.
No, not to take anything away from those two guests, because they were great, but I just noticed that of all the guests that have left those little messages for us, that you played that in a recent Everything Old is New Again episode. I was just wondering why you repeated it so soon.
Because I'm lazy, and we're now pulling everything out of the refrigerator, the leftovers, and that's what's left over. I figured.
I just wanted to hear you say it. So. All right, so where were we?
What is the best Thanksgiving movie ever made?
Is it a movie that takes place around Thanksgiving?
It ends at Thanksgiving. So, yes, it's around. It takes place like a day or two before Thanksgiving.
I might be way off, but didn't Die Hard happen around Thanksgiving?
No.
God.
And they're calling Die Hard a Christmas movie, which I do not agree with at all either. But it's related to Christmas.
I thought it was Thanksgiving.
Are you going to kick yourself? I cannot. The people are throwing their radios out the window right now. So angry with you that you don't know planes, trains, and automobiles.
No one has radios.
That's why they're throwing them out the window.
I don't know.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Planes, trains, and automobiles. I'm saying it to you. That's not the best Thanksgiving movie ever made?
I think I saw it.
Oh, my goodness. You haven't seen...
I think I did. I think it was a while ago.
Okay.
I wasn't impressed, I guess.
Oh, wow. Wow, the arguments you love to have.
No wonder I didn't get it. But,
exactly.
Okay.
All right, well, here's something you've never seen that will start your viewing. Remember, this is a day you're on the couch. This is our viewing pleasure today. We're going to be going in between movies and television shows of Thanksgiving themed in some way, and some nice recipes of what to do with the leftovers. All right?
All right.
Holiday for Drumsticks. Have you seen this? 1949. I bet you haven't. Let's listen to this.
Don't you see what their little game is?
Starting
they want you to get all fattened up for Thanksgiving, so they give you all of this food, and you eat until you're nice and fat. Then on Thanksgiving, you get the axe. They stick you in an old hot stove. The next thing you know, you're on a table. It's time to carve. He picks up the knife. He starts toward you, and then... Hey, Thomas! Where'd you go?
There you go, a little Daffy Duck. Of course, he gets himself into trouble because he's talking to Tommy Turkey, right? And he's telling him not to eat and get fattened up, so Tommy Turkey is scared he doesn't do so. Who does eat all his food? Daffy Duck. Who gets fat? Daffy Duck. Who gets served on the dinner table? Possibly? Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck. He always got himself into trouble. He was his own worst enemy.
Exactly. You know? Now, would you say that is the best cartoon themed Thanksgiving?
If it's going to move the show along, yes.
Now, here's a movie that I went to go see with my kids that was so underrated. I cannot believe no one talks about this movie when
and
they
it's
talk
a Thanksgiving
about
theme?
Yes, when they talk
Okay.
about Thanksgiving. I cannot believe this. It's only about 3 or 4 years old. We talked about a couple of years back. Talk about drive-in movies. Remember this, David Cohen?
Yes.
And when we talked about that, I went to the drive-in that night to see this movie with my kids. This is during the pandemic. My kids and and their grandfather, my dad, watching a drive-in movie on the wall of the Knights of Columbus, and I was woefully surprised by this movie called. Well, I'll tell you. How do I say this? I will leave the name for a minute. Here's a little bit about it.
Oh, hey, Mrs. Bill!
Mr. Anchovy, you have soiled our pizza with your small dried fish. Tastes like dirty sock. Still better than my wife's cooking, am I right?
Hey, guys, check it out.
Thank you, great turkey. Look, everyone, I'm giving this turkey thanks. Wait a minute. I just invented a word. It's a Thanksgiving. You like that? Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Now, that makes no sense to anyone that heard that. I want your curiosity piqued. This movie is about turkeys that somehow have figured out how to go back in time. And they go back in time to the first Thanksgiving. And they want to change the habit of celebrating Thanksgiving with turkeys because, of course, their species is endangered.
Sure.
And the end of it, you heard a little something about anchovies.
Yeah.
They bring back pizza, and pizza is exchanged for the turkey for Thanksgiving. Sounds ridiculous. It's a funny movie.
What's the name of the movie?
Called Freebirds.
Freebirds.
I'm telling you, watch it with your kids. You'll get a kick.
My kid's 24.
He'll watch it. He'll love it. Are you kidding? I'm telling you, a very underrated
Freebirds.
movie.
All right, I'll watch it.
You got to admit that's a kind of a good idea.
I like the premise.
They carry it out.
Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of questions. But
Go ahead. I got plenty of time. Go ahead.
So, how do the turkeys? I understand they want to change, what Thanksgiving is all about. Obviously, that's probably the first thing I would do if I became a turkey that, became self-aware and actually had human characteristics. So, but, it's one thing to wish that as a turkey. It's another to build a time machine and go back.
They don't build a time machine.
They don't build a time machine.
Something happens.
Somehow they're transported back.
Yes. I will not let you know. That's part of the fun. That's part of the fun, yeah. Because what you heard was the last scene of the movie, and I ruined the movie for you.
Yeah, you ruined it. You totally ruined it.
But you'll watch it. You'll watch it. I'm telling you, you'll get a kick out of it. You really will.
Yes, I like the premise.
Now, watching all of these movies while you're doing this, as you go through the television shows at this point, whatever it might be, you do want to take a break every so often. Right? So if you've seen what we just said, you've seen the coming attraction, which is Daffy Duck, and you've seen Freebirds, you want to have something to eat. You got to give it a shot. How about something for lunch now? Turkey-related lunch item. You ready for this?
Sure.
By the way, you got to cook a lot of cranberries and have a lot of cranberries left over because all these recipes feature cranberries. Yeah. All right. Get yourself, I won't tell you what it is. Let's see if you can figure it out. Fat-free, all right, 3 ounces of fat-free cream cheese. You can do any kind of cream cheese, but you go fat-free if you like. A quarter of a cup of fresh cranberries. A tablespoon of canned chilies. Some honey, a couple teaspoons of honey. If you want to make it hot, you could have some Louisiana hot sauce. Diced up turkey breast. Fry all that up. How does that sound so far?
Interesting. Okay.
And then get yourself a tortilla. You know how you put the tortilla, fry a tortilla, so to speak. You put all that goop in the middle of the tortilla. Put another tortilla on top. The cream cheese is going to be the binding agent. You flip it over on the frying pan. Take it out, and you got yourself a spicy turkey quesadilla. Tell me that doesn't taste.
I'm not sure how the cream cheese is going to taste with all the other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird. It's a strange binding agent.
Well, if you don't like that, you could do the regular standard old cheese. You could do taco cheese. Feel free. Do your taco cheese.
Feel free.
Feel free. That's a good one, though. How about?
Yeah.
I have something else.
Have you made any of these?
I've made all of them.
Come on.
Yes. You ready for this one? Are you ready for this one? There's another
Not
one.
look like a very honest yes. But okay, go ahead.
I'm on the radio.
Yes.
I am on the
all of
radio. Now, Southwestern Turkey Bake. This I have not made.
Oh, that sounds good, though. I like the title.
Okay, listen to this. Onions, jalapeno peppers, of course, the superfluous butter, cubed turkey. You've got to have that, of course.
Cubed? Okay.
Cubed turkey or cut up turkey. Condensed cream of chicken soup. Sour cream. Spinach. Monterey Jack cheese. Mix all that together. You can throw some onions in there if you want as well. Mix it all together, cook it, fry it up a little bit, then put it into a pan, sprinkle the Monterey cheese on the top again, put it in the oven, and you got yourself a nice turkey bake.
That's nice. I like that, too.
Eat that with tortilla chips. Crush them or just dip it in.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Come on, these are good. This is some good stuff here.
That sounds good.
All right, there's a lot you can do with the turkey.
Yeah, there is.
I think when you've done, the turkey thing, it gets you back into cooking a little bit because you've done all this. Even if you're just going to someone else's house and you brought the stuffed mushrooms, the side, whatever, it gets you sort of hyped up a little bit. You want to do a little cooking, no? I think cooking is a very relaxing thing to do.
It is, and it can be very creative and.
Yeah.
But if no one shows up at the dinner table when you call them, I can, like you mentioned in the last show we did, very frustrating.
It angers you a little bit. And then when this is what happens. Like when people don't show up to the table, this is what I sound like.
Get a color TV for Christmas or a portable TV. Get a TV for Christmas now because Crazy Eddie's Christmas sale is going on right now with prices so low he's practically giving TVs away. Shop around, check all the advertised specials, get the best prices you can find, then go to Crazy Eddie and he'll beat them. So get a TV for Christmas. Get it now because Crazy Eddie's Christmas sale is on right now with prices that are insane.
Come on down for dinner. Come on down. What are you doing? Angelica, come down. Finish your homework later. Leo, put the TV off. It just goes on and on and on. I cannot get them down for dinner.
Do you remember who the guy was that did those crazy?
I don't remember. I don't know. He committed some kind of a crime or something. Was there like a
very New York thing?
Embezzlement or something?
Maybe he did. Maybe he did, and I knew about it, and I just put it out of my mind. But yeah, he was a famous DJ.
Really?
Jerry Carroll, Dr. Jerry.
Wow.
Jerry Carroll on, I think he was on, in New York, CBS FM, and I think he was on NEW FM, and then he got this gig doing this Crazy Eddie thing. He became people thought he was Crazy Eddie.
And then it disappeared. It was doing so good. It knocked out all these other competitors with the low prices and stuff. And then it just disappeared. Because look it up. I think he did something with maybe not him. Maybe just Crazy. And actually, you know what? I think I just
crazy. Maybe it was the real Crazy.
Yes, I think I just did what you just said. I think that's not fair. Okay, we'll be back. Continue with the leftovers and Thanksgiving and everything else.
Get a color TV for Christmas or a portable TV. Get a TV.
For the most important dinner of the year, I wouldn't take a chance on anything but a Butterball. Plump, juicy, tender. Butterball is everything that a turkey should be, except risky. Thanksgiving is no time to fool around. This year, better buy Butterball, or you could get a turkey of a turkey.
Welcome back to Everything Old is New Again. Alice from The Honeymooners talking about turkeys. She referencing...
That was
Audrey Meadows.
Alice from... Wow, Audrey Meadows. What year was that?
1980.
Wow.
Is she referencing her husband of 30 years prior to that, Jackie Gleason? She talks about a turkey? I don't know. But we're here with the long-standing hangover from Honeymooners, from
from Thanksgiving.
The greatest, what did she call it? The greatest dinner of the year? The most important dinner of the year? I don't know if it is that, but it's there. And
to me it is.
Why is that?
Oh, it's the greatest dinner of the year. How can it not be? What competes with that?
I agree. Okay, I'll go with that.
It's non-denominational. It's a non-denominational holiday. It's celebrated by every American, or can be celebrated by every American, right? There's no correctness or anything that's going on. It's a reason for families to get together. You don't have the agita of the holiday right after Thanksgiving that you would celebrate, of whatever religion or background you are. So to me, it's the perfect holiday. It's the perfect dinner. And That's all. That's my public service announcement.
There you go. The only thing I was going to say is the most important dinner to me of the year is tonight's dinner. If I don't have tonight's dinner, thank you, Bradford.
I'd open with that. Yeah, Thanksgiving, huh? Isn't that great, that dinner? But I tell you, you know what my favorite dinner of the year is? Tonight's dinner.
Here you go. Spoken like a true comedian from the Catskills.
That's a good line.
There you go. You like that. So now listen, we're on the couch. We've had the breakfast. We've seen
you and me.
Yeah, we've had some lunch. We've seen some movies in between, some shorts, right? Some cartoons, themed, Thanksgiving themed stuff. And it's time now to dig into a little something else. I don't know. This is a stretch, but I'm going to go with it. Let's start off just with this movie, which I would watch for sure.
Here's a key to the back door. Now, you stick to the hallway in your room and you won't get hurt.
Meaning what?
Meaning that if you want to live here, I don't want to see you, I don't want to hear you, I don't want to smell you cooking, all right? Now, kindly remove that spaghetti from my poker tape. The hell is so funny?
It's not spaghetti, it's linguine.
Now it's garbage.
There you go, David Cohen, enjoying that thoroughly. Why did you enjoy that so much? You were mouthing every word.
Oh, because it's the Odd Couple movie. It's one of my favorite all-time movies.
And two great stars. They really,
Yeah.
Let's go this way. Which did you like better? Which performances did you like better? Those two or on television, Tony Randall and Jack Klugman?
I thought they were all great. The movie was really special because it was the play. It was the original concept of The Odd Couple. It wasn't written originally to become an ongoing TV show. So I think the movie is great on its own, and the actors, all of them, even the supporting actors, were amazing. Then when it became a TV show, I thought that Jack and Tony, I'll call them because I know them so well, were perfect for those roles. Perfect. So I liked them all. I love the TV show. I love the movie.
Trivia question. We interviewed a gentleman that knows this, who was he was Art Carney's backup when Art Carney was on Broadway doing The Odd Couple.
He was Felix.
Yes.
Art Carney.
And then Art Carney did not do that movie because he was struggling with alcohol, and they hired Lemon instead.
I did not know that.
Isn't that amazing? So,
wow.
And then Art Carney got over that and became an Oscar Award winner actor later on. Harry and Tonto and some other movies, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, why did I play that? I mean, you're on the couch.
I don't know. What did that have to do with Thanksgiving?
I just want to get you rolling to this relates a little bit to the next movie, which they say there's a smidge of a Halloween theme too. So if you're going to watch a double header, if you will, of two movies, or choose of one of these, Odd Couple or Grumpy Old Men.
Sure, it'd be nice to have some turkey right about now.
You remember the turkey your mother used to make?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, she was a good cook.
You remember the stuffing? The best.
How about those potato latkes?
Aye. Thought you said Chuck was going to VFW.
He is.
I don't think so.
What are you talking about?
Looks like he's making a house call.
There we go. So beginning of the movie, if you remember this, and if you don't remember it, it's the same two actors. Jack Lemmon's in it. You don't hear that. And Walter Matthau. And they're much older, and they're grumpier old men. But I think does it hold up? Is it as good or better than Odd Couple? No, but it's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, have you seen Grumpy Old Men?
I did, yeah. And then there was a sequel, Grumpier Old Men. Yeah, no, I remember that movie. It was funny. It was good. I liked it.
Yeah,
it was well written, and it was good to see them back together.
And of course, they were together in The Apartment back in the 1950s, which is a decent movie.
That's right.
And wait, was the other one? The Fortune Cookie, in The Fortune Cookie as well. When he was one was a lawyer, the other one was his personal injury brother-in-law. So they do you character? I guess it's a good question. They made probably about 6 movies together. I'll say. Are they a comedy team?
No, comedy team.
Lemon and Matthau?
No,
they made a lot of movies together.
That doesn't make them a comedy team.
And they're all
comedy team.
They're all funny.
When you have a self-contained comedic act that you do.
All right. Okay. We should bring that up to our buddy, who's like the guy that wrote the book that we had on. We've had to try to have him come back a couple of times, and never came back.
Like most of our guests.
No,
who's calling? Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I will say this. I have stopped asking anyone to come on the show. We've done a plethora of guests. We're not having guests right now, but maybe in the new year there might be a reason to have us go back into the drawing board and have our guests come back. We may have an announcement. We'll see. We'll leave it at that.
But it was our call not to have guests.
Correct.
Right? That was totally our decision.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. It was. Yeah.
It wasn't because of the dearth of
Absolutely
people willing
not.
to come on the show.
No, they all want to come
No,
back.
you're right.
They do.
I'm joking. It
Absolutely.
was really our decision.
Yeah, I want to.
We weren't spending enough time together.
Exactly.
You and me.
That's what it's all about. Correct. Talking about Thanksgiving for 3 shows.
So good.
All right, Grumpy Old Men. Which one would you watch? Grumpy Old Men or The Odd Couple?
What are you kidding? What?
All right, I'm
Who wants
sure you're
food?
into that.
What do you got? I got brown sandwiches and green sandwiches. Which one do you want?
What's the green?
See, the very new cheese or very old meat?
I'll take the brown.
Are you crazy? You're not going to eat that, are you?
I'm hungry.
His refrigerator's been out of order for 2 weeks now. I saw milk standing in there that wasn't even in a bottle.
I mean,
It was a variation of that joke in the TV show. I think Oscar asked Felix, he goes, "You want brown juice or green juice?" And Felix says, "What's the difference?" He says, "About 3 weeks."
So now we come full circle. And why do I do all that? Just to work in some more recipes. Would you like to hear about a brown recipe or a green recipe for leftover turkey?
What's the difference? About 3 weeks. Can we hear them both? Do we have time to hear them both?
Yes, you can. Yes. I'm going to go first with, and this has been out of style for quite a while, but I disagree. I think this could be fun to do. You might have this as a nice little something on the side for dinner. A bacon Swiss cranberry turkey quiche.
How has that been out of style?
Well, have you eaten quiches? I'm saying quiches.
Well, yeah, of course. Oh.
No one eats quiche anymore, do they?
That's not true.
I love quiches. So here you go. Make yourself a quiche.
And you live out in the boondocks.
Well, wait. What? You go to a restaurant, you order quiche? Be honest.
There's quiche available here.
You ordered from a restaurant. Tell me the name of the restaurant you went to and ordered a quiche.
Well, I usually bring them home. I guess.
Yeah. Right.
You can buy quiches. That's what we usually do and heat them up.
They're so easy to make. You just got to get a pie crust.
Well, I could buy it. I could just buy one.
No.
Why would I make it?
Are you kidding? You could just buy a hamburger from McDonald's too, but it's not half as good as the one you're going to cook at home.
Not true. I can't make a hamburger as good as Five Guys, so I don't try.
Oh, boy, you got trouble. That's trouble.
But anyway, go ahead. The recipe about quiche.
So you do the pie crust. You cook that up, make it nice and brown, right?
Or you could just buy store-bought.
You well, the store bought, but you put it in the oven. You brown it.
Yeah,
it's frozen. You brown it.
Right.
And then you in a bin, eggs, tons of eggs. I would say about 6 eggs.
In a bin? What do you mean?
6 eggs in a bowl. 6 eggs.
Okay.
And then you mix in 6 eggs. You mix in your Swiss cheese.
The egg bin. Throw them in the egg bin.
So cook some bacon up, Swiss cheese and bacon in there with a touch
I love
of
the specific. I can't say the word. How specific you get.
Well,
you cook the bacon up.
We don't have that much
Don't
time.
talk about like how long or.
Oh, everybody knows how to cook bacon. You chop it up, you put it in there, you put the
the
Swiss
bacon
in
up.
there. You're gonna make me be a fondue guy versus barbecue guy, and your turkey. Put it in the oven for about 25 minutes.
You
and you're
decide
done.
What temperature? Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Come on, good. Please, temperatures.
Throw it in the oven.
That's
Take it out of the oven when it's ready. You take it out.
And it's fantastic. It's fantastic. How you like
Will
that?
we post these recipes on our website?
Absolutely. We'll say we will, but we won't. We'll be back. Rid of this and everything else. Do again.
Sure, it'd be nice to have some turkey right about now.
I just made some turkey for you.
You remember the turkey your mother used to make?
Oh, yeah.
I have brought you this handy housewife helper. Where? Oh, there. What does it do? It does all of it. Can it sharpen a knife? Oh, it can sharpen a knife. Amazing. Tell me, old chef for the future, can it celery apple? Oh, it can celery apple.
We're back here on Everything Old is New Again, finishing up our third show on the Thanksgiving holiday. And let's be honest, we are just finishing up our second show on what to do to get over the Thanksgiving hangover, if you will. And we do more than just alcohol, just the emotional aspect as well, all of that. And my solution is food and movies. What's yours?
I'm right with you. I'm there right with you.
All right, so there we go. We're going to use the handy housewife helper from the Honeymooners, and we're going to make ourselves. You're going to like this one. You ready for this? I don't know. A Thanksgiving turkey Reuben sandwich.
Oh, that sounds good.
Turkey with gravy-spiked Russian dressing. So just put a little Russian dressing with a little gravy in there.
Mix it with the gravy.
Tangy sweet and sour cranberry sauce and sauerkraut together, and you melt Swiss cheese on top of it with 2 slices of toasty bread with butter, of course.
I might go make that right after this show.
How do you like that? But by the way, you've got to have butter on the bread. I mean, everything for Thanksgiving. It should be called buttered Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving.
That's
I mean, butter giving. It's everything is everything is butter. But how does that sound?
I like that. Yeah,
let's get it straight again. Put the turkey meat together with gravy-spiked Russian dressing and tangy sweet and sour cranberry sauce and sauerkraut mix.
I'm not sure what the tangy sweet and sour cranberry sauce is.
Well,
is there a separate recipe for that?
Well, we did that previously, but it just doesn't matter. Cranberry sauce and just mix your...
with the orange?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Or any cranberry sauce and mix it with the sauerkraut.
I'm sure it would taste good.
Oh, my God, the sweet and sour in that whole thing. That really, with the bread.
That does really sound good.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, you got.
I'm not a big Thousand Island dressing guy, but in this combination, I would try that.
That works.
Sounds good.
Now listen, I would eat that as a kid, not really that, but I would eat leftovers, and I remember this. I found this in my travels. This is a little hangover, right? With our leftovers, we're opening up the leftovers of all our ideas from shows we didn't do for Thanksgiving. This is a 1980s commercial that I remember watching on television, and I went to this convention. Listen to this.
The world's largest comic book and science fiction film convention is coming, and you're invited. November 27, 28, and 29 at the New York Statler Hotel in Manhattan, opposite Penn Station.
Right after Thanksgiving, like the weekend after Thanksgiving. And Rich Richter, if you remember him from our show, he's been on a number of times.
Sure.
And I went to that convention in 1980. I mean, I remember that. I found it on YouTube. Man. That's so crazy.
That's funny.
And we just went there, and nothing special. Just comic books galore, comic book T-shirts, comic book, whatever, books made of Star Trek and whatever else, books and things. We went nuts.
Like graphic novels and stuff.
Yeah.
Were there people where they're like, artists and
yes,
authors,
the artists and authors.
Stuff.
It was not one of these conventions with somebody like the Star Trek convention. It was just comic book people. And there were a lot of people like would bring their comic book collection or their stores, and you could see like these old comics like hanging there, and they were of course out of my price range, but we would buy some ones that were within. But what a great time for kids. Do kids have stuff like that now? And let me back up. I was 17 at the time. I didn't turn 18 yet. I don't know. I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't know the answer. Will you let your kid get on a train from Huntington, travel into New York City? The train is about 45 minutes to an hour. New York City, you get out. This hotel's right across from Penn Station, so you're okay there. Go into the city and hang and spend the day at this convention, take a train and come back. At 17.
How old were you?
17.
Yeah.
I think so, right?
I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
What would be the age you wouldn't do that? 15, 16, I guess? We're close. Like, that's the first time you probably did something like that.
I consider it.
Yeah.
I remember when my son was he asked us if he can go to Coney Island on the subway with some friends. First year of high school. How old are you then? I don't remember.
Well, that 9th grade or 10th, because we were 10th, but mostly it's 9th.
Oh, yeah, no, this was a 9th grade.
So it's like 14.
So 14, and we let him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about the cutoff.
Okay. I mean, it's just a little trepidatious as a parent too, but we did that, and man, was that fun.
But if you're going with a friend or friends, you feel a little better.
Much better,
that.
Yeah. Like when we went in, not to bring up this bad memory, so to speak, it was fun. But we went to go see Beatlemania. We were that age. We were 17, but we went in with 10 people.
And on that trip, my parents should not have let me go. So, you never really know.
And if you want to know the answer to that, you got to scroll back to some prior shows. And
just pick a show. Doug brings it up.
We bring it up
no matter
all the time.
What show, what topic. My travails.
But what, like, do kids? I'll say this on the island and throughout the nation, I'm sure.
Long Island.
Yes, there are. There, like right after Thanksgiving, there was a convention for baseball cards. I'm struggling because I don't know if it's all just baseball cards. Let's just call it cards. I think it was baseball cards mostly. Convention, if you call it that. You go and you walk around and collect them. Yeah, which is kind of cool, but I don't know if it's as cool as a comic book. But okay. But other than that, and I look around for these things, I haven't seen like these comic book conventions that often. I'm talking about just comic book without the guests. They have them all. Every state now has one. They invite every great guest on the planet. You get these guests, and they're kind of fun. Shatner and whoever else, not just Star Trek, but whoever, stars, right? And you get autographs and that kind of stuff. And at Comic Cons. But I'm talking about the little scaled down, just the comic book.
I think I was wondering when you were going to stop talking. So I think
about 5 minutes from now.
Probably had to do with the pandemic. But you're right. Other than like Comic-Con, I don't really see a lot of them. But then again, I'm not looking for it. So maybe they exist and we just don't know that they're there.
I am looking for them, though. I want to get my son into it.
Okay.
And
you're not finding
I don't see it. I see it with the guests, but I don't see it what I'm talking about.
In the late 80s, early 90s, they were everywhere. Everywhere. Every weekend there was a comic book or a card show. Yeah.
I took my kids to a comic book store a couple weeks back, and they're not getting involved with like, can I get a subscription to Avengers, let's say, right, and read all of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Everything is on their phone now.
Yeah, and I think they just want to watch the movies now and the TV shows.
Yeah.
Kind of lazy in a way, if you want to.
But even like collecting baseball cards, whatever, I think before the whole electronic age, having something tangible that you can hold and look at meant a lot more than it does now. I think it's just less important.
I agree. You could actually go on to, I forget the name of the website, but there's a website where you could subscribe to it, and I guess you're purchasing it, but for a small amount of money. Let's just say you wanted all of the amazing Spider-Man comics ever. Something like, I don't know, $50. You can have all of them, and you could read them digitally online, every one of them.
Right.
No one's
I'm sure they look great.
But
I'm sure they look great.
Yeah. So what's the downside? Like you don't need the pieces of paper anymore, right? But I don't know that kids are reading.
There was a quote by Stan Lee, right? It said, that I'm misquoting, but something about the joy of just holding a comic book and reading it. It's different than holding an iPad or a phone and reading it on there.
I agree. I just wonder if kids are going to do that. I'm trying to get my kids into it, and I'm not getting it. It's not happening,
Nope.
And it's really sad. Really sad. Yeah. Anyway, not to turn negative, but let's look at the craziest, silliest, nuttiest Thanksgiving movie ever made.
Back in the 1500s, in the settlement of Crawlberg, an old Indian by the name of Feathercloud was dishonored by a pilgrim. Feathercloud necromanced a turkey that would stop at nothing to get what he wanted, to kill.
Everything's gonna be okay. You don't believe me, do you?
I do believe you. Have you ever heard of this? I've never heard of this. I looked it up, movies for Thanksgiving. It's called Thanksgiving. There's been 3 of these movies. It's about a turkey that kills people because they want to eat turkey for Thanksgiving.
That's a little more violent than the other one we were talking about, where they do the time machine or whatever. They go back in time and change the first Thanksgiving.
No, this is a horror movie.
The turkey's killing people?
Yes. It's a Muppet kind of a turkey. I think it's more a cultish kind of stupid.
So it's like an adorable turkey? Is that what you're saying?
No, he doesn't look adorable, but he's a Muppet kind of. It's a Muppet. But it made I'm fascinated by who would watch this enough for them to make a sequel and then a sequel after that. There's been 3 of these movies.
Wow.
What the heck? Thanksgiving. I do not recommend watching it. I do recommend looking it up and finding out what's the fascination. I do recommend maybe do this. Ask your friends and family if anyone's seen it, and if they have, just mark that.
So silly.
Yeah, mark that in the book, and if they've seen it, run like heck, like disown them. One last recipe while you're watching Thanksgiving. Try to keep this down.
The first one.
Oh, you're locked up. What'd you say?
Oh, 2008. They weren't made that long ago. 2008 was the first one, and they've made 3.
That's what I said. It's crazy. They make 3.
Sorry. Yeah, we're having a connection problem here.
All right.
Well, a technical.
Technical. Well, there it is. We've done some recipes. We've done some television. We've done some movies. We've done some stories. Anything else to add in the last 30 seconds here, David Cohen, to help with the Thanksgiving hangover? Other than to say it was a terrific 3 shows.
It was a terrific 3 shows. I think we did Thanksgiving as a holiday justice. The justice that it deserves, the attention it deserves.
Love it.
So I'm happy about all of that.
Love to hear it. One last thing I would suggest, The Last Waltz. We can't get into it now. Martin Scorsese taped Thanksgiving, 1976, the band's last concert. Go to bed, David.
Well, that's more of a coincidence. And
yes.
It really has nothing to do
but I needed
with
something to go out on.
That.
I needed some music, so I'm going out on that. What do you think? You like that episode or you don't? I mean,
yeah.
Movie. You like the band?
I do. I like the movie.
All right.
I like the band.
There we go. We'll
yes,
be back.
Showed up.
Ooh, sorry. I cut you off. What'd you say? What you were going on?
I said, the band was a long time ago. I can't say I still listen to the band, but I appreciated them.
We'll be back next week to
That was worth it, wasn't it?
And more, yeah. I may have to clip that. We'll be back. Everything Old is New Again.
Showed up and helped us take it home. They were more than just friends.